Hey everyone, just a heads up, today's episode contains adult situations. Last time on The Secret Room, in the episode called I Sold My Body to Save My Horse, Nikki told us about her desperate bid to turn her life around. And today, it's time for the conclusion of Nikki's secret.
Hi Ben, my name's Nikki, and one day in 2014 I nearly lost my job. My horse nearly died and I got kicked out of my home. I turned to the only work I could think of to make money. My secret is, I sold my body to save my horse and myself, and no one knows.
Today, The Secret Room presents How Horses Saved Me. In part one, we met Nikki, a horse trainer who moved across the country with a wealthy client for a new opportunity and a fresh start. But she found her new environment dysfunctional, and the dream quickly cracked. She was barely able to survive on low wages, and then, in a single day, she was kicked out of her house, she nearly got fired, and her horse collapsed. And suddenly, without security in her life, she turned to sex work to save herself and her horse. But can it be the launch pad she needs to rebuild her life? We pick up her story now, where I asked Nikki, what was it like sleeping with strangers, and maybe in particular, people that you might not have been so attracted to?
Strangers is fun. It can be fun. Like when I was younger, that'd be what the younger version of me would say. And then, just knowing that we're going to keep it simple. I'm probably never going to see you again. There's zero drama here, which is the best part. And then if it's good sex, then great. And if it's not, then maybe I'll go see someone else after this.
Okay.
The second part of the question was not so attractive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know if I maybe had one or two people that were not attractive, but I was fine with it. I'm not judgy. Like, I think people are more like mentally unattractive than physically. Maybe, you're hung like a horse, or maybe you're not. And
like a horse.
People have their qualities. Like, yeah. Trust me, I'm not into that, but it was an interesting reference for sure. But honestly, like, I had some people who I'm like, what are you doing? Like, me? No. You're way too good looking to even what? I'm so confused by some of them. But what I found is that some of these people who are very conventionally attractive have strange fetishes and think that they need to be with conventionally attractive people. And maybe those people they're not willing to share or open up with that person and put themselves in a vulnerable state. Maybe they've never been accepted for their fetish. Maybe they have never tried it. And I'm not judging you. Like, I'm okay with most of it. I think the coolest, weirdest one, it wasn't weird to me. Okay, like, I'm not judging. But it was an armpit fetish. And I was like, okay, go for it. Like, this is a guy who's got like 7% body fat. Like, he's lean. He's got freckles everywhere. He's cute. I'm like, holy motherfucking, what are you doing here? But he's like got his face in my armpit the whole time. Mm-hmm. And he just wanted to smell my armpit. And I'm like, go for it. Like, you look like a supermodel and all you want to do is put your face in my armpit. Like, what the hell?
No problem.
That's the weird thing to me. Like, I don't look like a sorority girl or something like that. I'm nothing to look at as far as I'm concerned. People are into it. That's fine. But just being not judgmental is really the key thing.
Are there other fetishes that you remember?
Yeah. So I'm more like submissive, and but I can also be kind of like switchy. I remember like this guy, it was his first time paying, I think, for anybody. And he was nervous, and we were just like in the middle of it. And he's like, I want you to dominate me. And I was like, okay. So I got on top and I just covered their mouth and got like right up in there. And I was like, a little bit weird for me to do that, but I'm okay with it. Like, if if you ask me to do something, then I mean, I'm going to try.
So it sounds like a part of you is really enjoying this job.
Yeah, there was a part of me that really liked it. I had power.
Yeah.
And for all the people who say that it's very degrading, it certainly is. Do I want people to know I did this? Not really, no. But I'm taking something from you when I do this. I'm taking your money. I'm taking the checkbox that says, I've never paid for sex. And you're probably gonna have a great time and not understand why. And that was fun for me until it just got scary, you know? But that's the thing, is you can't have everything. You have to be willing to subject yourself to things in order to have like a result in the good department.
Did you ever find yourself becoming particularly close to a client?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely getting harder to go in, try and acquire new clients. I think I, at a certain point, must have been begging or something. I was just really struggling. I was having outbursts of people who didn't deserve them. Like, oh, you're wasting my time or whatever. And all I needed to do was just like stop responding. But I'd say like, don't ever fucking talk to me. I had seen this person a few times. They were an okay person. They had a great job. They had all their things together, but whatever in life was not working out for them. I think maybe they got out of a long relationship and just wanted like a good time. I thought I trusted them. Like, we liked the same music. We cooked in the kitchen one day together. Like, I think I slept over there once, you know, and I totally broke down in front of them one day after, like, I don't know if it was right after sex. That would have been bad, but it might have been. And instead of them being like, oh, what's wrong? They were like, hey, do you mind not staying the night today? I was like, okay.
Well, that's kind of a wake-up call. You guys are not friends.
Yeah, I guess I got played. Like, you never know. Maybe they care and they just don't want to deal with it. That's fine. It's their house. Mm-hmm. I'll leave.
Yeah. Did you still feel empowered after that?
Probably. That was my primary, like, light at the end of the tunnel, is like, empower.
Yeah. Okay. Were there any other clients that you got close to?
Yeah. I think that a couple people took like pity on me or knew how hard I was trying. I had this customer who, honestly, I do not remember if we hooked up every time like I saw them. Sometimes it was just different, or coffee or something like that. And I remember one time they just came over to my apartment in the middle of the day and they were like, just put a corset on, but don't tighten it up. And they like walked in and they just wanted to, that was the first thing they wanted to do, was like, just tighten that up and then talk. I was like, okay, whatever. I think I had talked more with them because it wasn't always sex. Like, they talked about their wife and their kids and like just silly things that were bugging them. And eventually they offered to see if they could help me find a job. And I was gung-ho for that. I sent them my resume. They reviewed it. They said, I've got a great match and it's just right around the corner, like really close. I'm not really sure how any of it happened. I remember going to the temp agency one time. That's where the guy worked. And okay. I don't remember doing an interview at the temp agency. Like, what are your skills? What are you interested in? The guy was just like, okay, come do this paperwork and then you're going to this job interview right after. It's right around the corner. So I went and did the job interview, and the guy who did the interview, they were interested in me, but they tried to play it really cool. Like, oh, we've got a lot of options. And
so he hired you?
Yeah, they hired me.
And so how on earth are you fitting this into your already busy day?
Yeah.
Your busy schedule. You've got the tack shop. Mm-hmm. You've got your night job. Mm-hmm. And you take care of your horse. Where is there room for a temp job?
Right. Okay. So temp job is like daytime hours, then horse, then home, shower, and then back out. And a couple days a week, the shop is open late. So I would go work, tack shop, shower, and then out. So I'm not going to see my horse. A couple days, like just if I have to, but basically if I can fit that in, then I go. It was winter, so there's nowhere to ride. The sun goes down early. So you're just out there in the dark with them, and that's good time. That's like meaningful, important time, but
Okay, so your week is jammed. You don't have a second to spare. Did you continue seeing the recruiter as a client?
yeah. They came around quite a bit, like mostly to my apartment if I had time in the day for whatever reason. If I had time, they would have come by and, I don't know, blowjob or something, and then leave.
Do you ever see him at work?
Yeah.
How this works out for Nikki and how her crisis deepens just ahead.
The holidays are upon us, and there is temptation everywhere, and it can be hard to manage your weight loss progress. But do not fret. Hers has your weight loss handled so you can breeze through the holidays and meet your health goals. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time you find the best option that works for you through Hers. Visit forhers.com/secret to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. Hers puts your health and goals first with real medical providers making sure you have what you need to get results, all from the comfort of your own home. And the plan is flexible. When I was hitting a plateau in my weight loss, changing my medication was just what I needed to get me back on track to losing weight. Weight loss medication can be expensive, but Hers provides access to affordable weight loss plans built around oral medication kits and GLP-1 injectable options, with oral medication kits starting at just $69 per month, with a 10-month plan when paid upfront in full. Whether you want to lose weight, grow thicker, fuller hair, or find relief for anxiety, Hers has you covered. Visit forhers.com/secret to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's forhers.com/secret. forhers.com/secret. Weight loss by Hers is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not approved or reviewed for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for full details, important safety information, and restrictions. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased. Check the show notes.
And we're back. Do you ever see him at work?
Yeah. Months and months later, they actually came through and talked with my boss to see if we needed any more temps. And I was like freaking out. I was so scared.
You were afraid you'd get outed.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm the one who suggested it, but I'm still scared.
Yeah, sure. And did he keep your secret safe?
Yeah. As far as I know. Like, yeah, for sure.
And so did you stay in touch or?
Yeah, I think just life changed for me. You eventually stopped talking to people. I never felt like I owed them anything. And I know that they messaged me a few times just to see how I was doing.
Okay. So you just drifted apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no major falling out.
Right.
So he was somebody that actually helped you. I guess you're probably grateful to him for getting you that job.
Yeah, definitely.
Did the job lead to anything else?
Yeah, it was like a customer service job, really basic intro stuff. And there was downtime. Like, the job was in a certain industry that has peak seasons. And during the start of that job, it was not a peak season. So you could read a book, you could, I mean, if you don't have anything for me to do, I'm going to read a book, I guess.
Yeah.
But ideally, like, give me something to do. So I would start doing data work. I'd start doing a little more work, like, in the system with trying to help customers as best as possible, learning more about the industry. and trying to just fill my brain with knowledge to just be helpful and become valued. That was like my goal, was like, just be someone they cannot replace. Just be that good.
Sounds to me like you're pouring yourself into this job and you are gaining certain expertise in this industry.
Yes. Yeah. Like, so I was just being given data work projects, like research projects. And I think it was more of a test. Like, maybe we already know the answers, but I'm not going to tell you we already know. Because now I look back and I'm like, I could have done that in 5 minutes with an Excel formula. But go ahead and spend all week doing this, like as a test. Mm-hmm. And then eventually I started teaching myself like shortcuts, and really I thought in my mind, like, I'm going to be the best at this. This is an ecosystem that I understand or I can grasp, and it might lead to something.
Well, good. So you're starting to get a footing in a new type of work, and you're enjoying it. How was your boss?
Tough.
Good tough or bad tough?
Yeah. So it goes both ways. Like, this is a person who is hard to work for. They make you feel like you're never good enough. Like, I just want to be good enough. That's how I felt every day. It really has stuck with me to this day. And maybe I have a little bit of a complex from it. Like, I'm always trying to be good enough. What's that about?
And you're still a temporary.
Yeah. I think the day that it really kicked me was like, they had a 90-day thing, and then we had a meeting to see if they were going to hire me, and he extended it, which broke my heart, because when you're a temp, you get even less of a paycheck. Like, that person's paying a lot more for you that they could just be paying you directly. So you're still working for nothing. It never seemed to stop. When am I ever going to feel like I'm valued and be treated like I'm valued? Yeah. I think a holiday rolled around. I found out I wasn't getting paid for a holiday. And that meant 8 less hours that you're getting paid on your temp paycheck. So I got like, oh my gosh, I got no money that week. And I didn't know I was getting no money that week. I'm pretty sure rent was due, board was due for the horses. And I was just like, I don't know what to do, So I was still sleeping with people for money at a certain point. Like, I had to do that, and it just sucked. Every day, like, I'm on eggshells, like, don't mess up, or don't do anything that would make you get fired. And it felt like people there were pitted against me for whatever reason.
Do you remember any particular situations at work where, you had a difficult interaction with somebody who worked there?
Yeah. I remember I was sitting in my cubicle, and I think this guy walked out into the hallway and asked a question that I knew the answer to. So I just spoke up, and I just told him the answer. And he goes, "Why are you even here? Why are you fucking here?" Like, at the top of his lungs, he started screaming at me, "You need to leave. You don't belong here." All this shit. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I think I left. And nobody texted me or called me and was like, "Hey, I'm sorry this happened to you. You don't deserve that." Like, I just showed up the next day, and the guy walks in and he slams his door, and it's one of those heavy ass doors. Wham! And I'm like, I fucking can't with this. Why does this shit just keep happening? Like, everyone's fighting around me, and I'm just trying to make myself small and do the best I can,
Must have been such a stressful time. I mean, your day job is keeping you on tenterhooks because they won't, end your temp status, and there's confrontations at work, and you're not getting the support you should, you deserve.
Yeah.
And your night job is risky, and you're probably always fearing for your safety. And you're still the tack shop, which you enjoy a great deal, but it's just more, greater strain on your time. How do you have any downtime at all?
I really didn't. No downtime. I honestly don't know.
Did you do anything for relief? Find any other sources of income?
Yeah, we had that second bedroom. And so I put something on Craigslist and got a response right away. I come home one day. This guy, he moved in eventually. I can't remember his name. He was a little bit sketchy, but I didn't care. I was like, you know what? You're barely home. It's fine. I remember one day I came home and this guy was cleaning a dead deer in my sink.
What?
And I'm like a germ person and I just see all this meat everywhere and there's blood and I'm like, whoa. And then I'm like, oh my God, there's people here too. And we had like 2 or 3 friends over and there was a guy. I remember looking at his eyes and he looked right at my eyes and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's gonna think he loves me now. I just knew the look on his face. Like I can tell when people look at me like that. I knew what was going on. He ended up hooking up with me that night. I left and then I came back and he asked if he could stay and we stayed up all night and we hooked up and whatever. The next day they asked if he could stay again. And that's when I realized like, okay, this guy might be homeless.
Oh.
Like there was a big storm coming in and I mean, I get it. Like if you're homeless, I get it. I've got a huge living room. Like, I guess camp out. Go ahead. I'm not going to fucking kick you in the cold if it's snowing. I'm not totally horrible. But, I ended up dating this guy, which is like of the many bad decisions I make in life. Why?
Yeah, but I mean, clearly you must have seen something in him. You had a relationship with him.
Right. Yeah. I did like him at a certain point, but, having the people living there, paying rent, it got me to be able to afford to not have to sleep with people, which I think was a little bit less fun than, at the time I was like, you're kind of an inconvenience guy. But I liked him. He was fun.
Did he know that you were a sex worker?
I think they figured it out. Like, yeah, because I didn't stop just because I hooked up with this guy on a snowstorm. He had to like come out and ask me to be his girlfriend, basically, which was fine. And I stopped doing what I was doing. He actually had a lot of fun telling people off when I was with him because people would still reach out.
He would intervene.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember one day I was out at the barn and my phone just kept ringing and I just handed him the phone and he was like, blah, 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 yelling, don't call her ever again. But okay. Some people get like territorial and it makes them feel better. Whatever makes you feel better, I guess.
How did it go with this guy? How long were you with him?
It was less than a year.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like because I had stopped sleeping with people and started just letting people rent the room, what a reasonable decision. I didn't have as much extra money. And a lady had reached out to me about leasing my horse and I backed off of it. But eventually she reached out again and I said, okay, that's fine. I let her lease my horse. So that was a little bit more money coming in and now I could start to pay off some debt perhaps.
And when somebody leases your horse, are they also responsible for feeding and maintaining them?
Right. Yeah. So I would supply like grain and supplements, but just so he would stay on what he was on. Some horses are what we call hard keepers. So you have to feed them more. You have to like actually exercise them and try to keep them from getting like sunken in muscles and very ribby, and they don't look so good. And after my horse was leased out for a while, he did not look so good.
Oh.
And it wasn't like she wasn't feeding him. He just was not healthy. He needed his life back. So she has him for a while. And I remember one afternoon, I call him up, this guy. I'm like, hey, you hungry? I'm bringing home dinner, get dinner, and I'm coming home. And he's on the phone and he's like, yeah, great. I would love dinner. Not even 30 minutes have transpired. I'm coming home with dinner and I show up and he's fucking another woman on my couch and like so fucking drunk that whatever transpires, this lady, she goes, oh, are you the roommate? And I'm like, oh my God.
How you or I might handle the situation might vary, but when the other woman tries to steal her boyfriend's car, it adds a whole other dimension. We're back in a moment. I am really happy to welcome our new sponsor, Drip Drop, a product I am using and enjoying, and I have a great offer for you. But first, what is Drip Drop? Drip Drop is a brand of electrolyte powder mix that's designed for rapid hydration. When I'm hydrated, everything just works better. My energy, my mood, my focus, literally everything improves. And it's not just about thirst, it's about keeping my body and my brain running at full power. I want to thank Drip Drop for supporting The Secret Room. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code SECRET for 20% off your first order. Drip Drop uses a precise ratio of electrolytes and glucose for rapid absorption, delivering 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading sports drinks. So you feel results fast. More focus, better energy, improved mood, even glowing skin. I'm partial to the strawberry lemonade, but there are 16 original flavors and 80 sugar options, and it fits right into my routine, morning, post-workout, or when I hit that midday slump. Drip Drop is doctor-developed, with proven fast hydration that help your body and mind work better. Right now, Drip Drop is offering my listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code SECRET. That's dripdrop.com, promo code SECRET for 20% off. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code SECRET. Check the show notes. And Nikki's secret continues as the other woman wonders just who Nikki is.
Anyway, she tries to steal his car. I'm like, you're not stealing his car. He can't drive her. He's so drunk. I drive her home. Me.
Wow. This
lady tries to give me advice on the car ride. She's like, you two should really work it out. I'm like, shut the fuck up. She's trying to give me advice right now. And I'm just like, just dealing with life, apparently. I come back to the house. He's so fucking drunk. He had passed out like backwards on the bed that had no bed stand. It was just right on the ground. And I'm like, going to talk to you. We're going to have a conversation right now. And he's so fucking drunk. He's passed out. I grabbed this motherfucker by the balls and I grabbed him like, wake the fuck up to have this conversation. And then like, that was it. We were done.
Yeah, I would think so.
He wouldn't leave either. That was the thing. It's like, There are people out there who are like, I'm not leaving. What are you going to do about it? It starts to be winter. They worked construction and had no work. So they stopped paying rent. And I'm like, dude, listen, my horse is in not so good shape. I need to get him back. I can barely afford the rent as it is. And now you're not paying rent. So now I can really not afford this shit. Well, it gets violent. My poor mom is calling the cops on us all the time because she's certain I'm going to kill him. Like, what? Nothing will drive you more insane than trying to get a person to either pay rent or leave. Because you got to go do the court thing. And I'm like, I'm working constantly. I'm not going to the fucking court to get this guy evicted. He's not even on the lease. Like, it shouldn't be that hard, but it is. It's awful. Never give someone a key to your house.
Noted.
I eventually just like let that place run itself into the ground. I got a new apartment. I got my horse back in the same day, basically. We moved, got the horse back. And I had my horse back for like 3 days.
Well, what happened?
I was at work. It was like a Tuesday or Wednesday. My friend called me. And it was like, you know when you know. She said, your horse is dead. I'm not sure what happened. And what had happened was he got kicked. He fell and he had a diaphragmatic hernia. which means that the lungs or the intestines pulled into the lungs and they suffocate and die. And we found him at the back of the pasture, out in the trees where they never go. And it's like he just walked off to just slowly pass away. This is like...
So sorry.
Yeah, thank you. You've been free from this shitbag of a guy for 2 days, and then your horse passes away. So now you're alone, and now you're really alone. So it was tough. And the next day was the first really bad ice storm. But this girl, she's a badass. She rented I think I rented a U-Haul with my last $60. And we got him on a flatbed. Her dad is just like this classic old Southern man. He came out there. He winched my horse onto the flatbed. We took him down to the college and he had a necropsy. So I would know. And he was cremated because usually when your animal passes, if you have a necropsy done, the cremation is pretty affordable. And sometimes just knowing what happened can be really healing. At least you know what was wrong and you can justify it, which there's no point because it's not just.
So sorry. What a terrible day.
Yeah.
What was life like after that?
Life after that was like really weird. I know I lost a ton of weight. I became like obsessed with just being thin. Oh my God.
Must have had such an empty space not having your horse.
Yeah. It's like nothing to do after work except go home and then be depressed. So.
But you had to learn to live again.
Yeah. Almost immediately, I just knew that I had to help somebody. Like, why help myself? Why have any amount of savings? Get another horse, right? Like, that's what makes you feel good, is like being broke but having a horse. Like, go for it. And my boss at the tack shop had mentioned, or he knew that I was looking, and I almost got a young horse off an auction that was like going to slaughter, and it wasn't like the exact right thing for me. He let me know he had a horse that was, they'd had her for a long time. She was a broodmare, and that means that her life is to just make babies. Really nice, well-priced baby horses. And she had good breeding and was trained really well when she was young, but she was a bit middle-aged now and maybe hadn't been ridden. I don't know. Asked me if I wanted to try her out. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm gung-ho. I throw my saddle up on this horse and they're like, do you want me to ride her? And I'm like, no, you said she was safe. So I go to hop on her, like all the confidence in the world. And that girl, she bucked me off the minute I stepped on her. And I was like, hell yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I love that.
You like that?
I do. I was like, okay, I missed a step. Like, you are not ready for me to be on your back. And that is A-okay. So then I said to his wife, who was out there with me, I was like, why don't you go ahead and ride this horse since you said she was safe? Well, she gets on her and she's amazing. She's a saint. And I'm like, okay, well, I just missed a step. Like, I really like this horse. I'm gonna work on this. Oh my God. I fell so much in love with that horse. She was just like, and this is a horse who's coming off of like, her second to last baby died, passed away unexpectedly. The last foal miscarried. So you can see how broken she is. Just sad. And I was like, hell yeah, I want a puppy dog. Give me that cute horse. So I took her home and like just loved the crap out of her.
Oh, that's great. So now you've got a horse.
Yeah.
How's your jobs going?
Jobs are good. I'm getting a lot more responsibility. By then, it had been official, like a real job by then.
Oh, congratulations. Since you've been made a permanent employee at the temp job, I take it things are going pretty well.
Yeah. So I'm doing a lot of like product photography. I'm writing code that is optimizing what the price should be. Maybe you want 17% margin. Well, I got a formula for you for that. Maybe you've got 10 different boxes in the warehouse and you want to know which product to put the box in.
Wow.
I'll take a business need and work it over in my mind and try to find a solution. That helped me feel like I'm a valued member of this team. Like I can take a problem that you could not solve, that you had no skill to do, and I made it happen. That made me feel good to know that I'm smart enough to fix problems.
So how long did you work there?
I worked there for about 4 years. I moved on to another company where I did the same thing for somebody else in a totally different industry. And after that, I did the same thing for someone else in a totally different industry.
And you're staying in the same area?
No. When I left this job, that was like my start. I moved out to the coast, let's say. And it was a touristy place. It was, impacted by hurricanes as well. And it was a whole vibe. I thought, I'm leaving one person, I'm leaving an abuser, and I'm going to find a new fresh start. And then what I found was a little bit more abuse. And it's just baffling to me, like how deeply you have to set your boundaries when you start a new job. And now I know. But it took me a long time.
And so your horse made the trip with you?
She passed away. She was kicked in an accident in the pasture.
Oh my gosh.
And I tried to heal her myself, which I had no money. Again, you're being paid so minimally for what you do sometimes. And I should have called the vet, and I know that. And her joint actually went septic and she needed surgery. And I didn't even have the money to call the vet in the first place. And she knew that. And I remember the day that I knew she had to be put down. I called her. She looked at her. She said, this is really not good.
Yeah.
And asked me if I wanted the day with her. So I spent the whole day with her because she was such a fantastic mare. She had so much love in her heart, and she was just the best. And we put her down.
Oh, it's devastating.
Yeah. And I didn't have a horse again for a while. I still worked at the tack shop. The day after she passed away, I called out sick of work. This is my boss who gave me this horse. I called out sick and he said, it's the holidays. We really need you here. So I show up and we're overstaffed and there's nobody in the store because it's winter. And I left without saying anything to anybody. I was so upset. I was so disappointed.
Because they had called you into work but had nothing for you to do?
Exactly. Not only did my horse just die, that was your horse too. And you know how much I loved her. And you want me to be here. You want me to act like I'm okay. So I left, and I never really said anything. I think that maybe there was a text after I apologized for leaving and explained why. And they didn't really understand, but they tried. I reconnected with somebody, and I mentioned to her that I was like willing to ride horses for free just to do it. And she had a bunch of horses. She bred horses up the hill. I go out there and I start riding these horses, and she had this one horse who was known to be dangerous, aggressive. He would lay down. He wouldn't walk under saddle. And she said, you can ride him, but you have to know all this shit about him, right? And I go, well, whatever. So I tack him up and I get on him. And of course he doesn't move, but I'm just sitting there like he's not being a dick. He's just doesn't want to move. It only took me about 2 weeks of just being really patient before he started to walk under saddle, trot under saddle. I would take him off on these adventures in the mountains and the fields, and he was like a happy, very happy horse.
Oh.
Things did not work out after a certain period of time. It was almost 70 miles from her house to my house. And I was staying there a bit. I told her I can't do it anymore because I'm not getting anything out of it other than just riding horses, you know? Like when we talked, we agreed like maybe a horse would sell and I'd get some money out of it or whatever. But you know, within a year, she messaged me and said, our home's being foreclosed and I'm going to put this horse down if you can't take him. And that was like a real tough thing to hear. So I ended up taking this horse and I save up money. My mom helps me buy a horse trailer. They drive out to the coast, hook up to my trailer. We drive him back to California. And the reason we did it that way is because this horse had been a stallion. He had tested positive for EPM.
What's that?
It's a neurological disease. So you get it from possums. It affects their behavior. It makes them a little bit unhinged, a little bit dangerous to be around. And they have to have treatment once to twice a day. No one is going to put hands on this horse. Like, I'm going to protect him with my life. The trip back to the West Coast was pretty okay, except for when the truck broke down in Wyoming. And I pulled my horse out of the trailer. And I'm like, we're fucked. I have nowhere to keep him tonight. And so I started walking him down the road. And I'm in Burns, Wyoming. There's like nobody who lives there.
Okay.
And these kids came running. They see this big, gorgeous horse. They came running and they were like, can we pet your horse? And I go, yeah. Are your parents around? You know, go ahead. And one of the dads comes over and I say, hey, man, my truck broke down. Do you know anybody in town who has a pasture? He tells me he's got a buddy like down the way. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I'll walk there. I'll hand walk this horse here. He's only 1,400 pounds. And well, we're walking. We're halfway there. He breaks free from me. It's like one of those back roads that connects you to the interstate. And I'm just watching him run.
Oh my God.
He's gone. I really thought he's gone. Like, you're on open range in Wyoming. He's free now. Happy for him. And my mom ended up catching him. And we walked him the rest of the way. He stayed in this frickin' people's pasture in the middle of nowhere. They let me sleep in their camper for free. This is like nowhere in the world. Nowhere in the world. But in Burns, Wyoming, can you find people that good?
Wow. Yay, Burns.
Shout out to Burns.
So then you got back on the road.
Yeah, I had this guy a couple more years and he ended up with some other issues and he did also have to be put down, unfortunately.
Gosh, so many tragedies with these horses in your life.
Yeah. I think though, like, it's not okay, but I'm okay with it because I just love them.
It's the cycle of life.
Yeah. I love them with my whole heart. They get to be exactly who they want to be. I'm not trying to pin him into some bullshit and force him to be some type of way. Like, I really think I have the happiest horses.
Each one of them was lucky to have you.
Thank you. I was lucky. I was lucky too.
Yeah. And I take it at some point you stopped the sex work. Nikki has been through it. And next up, we'll round out her story with where she is with sex work and how things are going on the West Coast. This holiday season, I've been using Home Chef to channel my inner Gordon Ramsay. That's because Home Chef just teamed up with Gordon Ramsay to bring his 5-star, stress-free recipes straight to your kitchen. Between school nights and busy schedules, it has never been easier to cook like a pro without the pressure. One Home Chef meal I prepared at home that I really liked was the buttermilk chicken schnitzel with cucumber dill sauce and zucchini. Now about that title, it sounds delicious, right? And even a little fancy? And you would be right on both counts, but as is true with all the meals I've made with Home Chef, it was deceptively easy to make too. So the bonus with Home Chef for me is not only that I'm able to cook a really good meal easily, it's that I get a lot of kitchen cred too. Home Chef is rated number 1 by users of other meal kits for quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. And for a limited time, Home Chef is offering Secret Room listeners 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life. Go to homechef.com/secret. You can choose from Gordon Ramsay's co-branded dishes featured across Home Chef's culinary collection, classic meal kits, and express options, each crafted to make you feel like a chef in your own kitchen. And with over 30 meal options, each week with choices for different diets and tastes, you'll always find something delicious to sink your teeth into. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering you 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life. Go to homechef.com/secret. That's homechef.com/secret for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. You must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. homechef.com/secret. Check the show notes. And Nikki's secret continues. I asked Nikki if she would return to sex work.
Oh yeah. I haven't done that in ages. I don't want to do that. Even to this day, I have problems. Like, if I'm not interested, it feels a little bit like non-consent in my brain. But that's not what it is. Like, I'm in a relationship. I'm very happy. This person would never hurt me. But sometimes my brain still does that move. Mm-hmm. Did you consent to that? And I'm like, you know what? I definitely have partitions and places I can go and do go and check out.
It's a way of protecting yourself.
Yeah. I believe that wholly. Like, your brain is meant to protect you. And there are certain things you don't need to remember. Just keep your mind on the good stuff.
And so how long have you been back on the West Coast?
Let's see, 3+ years.
And so you don't have any horses right now?
I do not. I have a couple of clients that I work with. I'm always really involved when we have fires because that's a big part of life out here. And a lot of people will leave their horses behind, turn them loose. I do a lot of volunteer work when there's fires, like putting stuff out there, like, please don't leave your horse behind. Like, if he won't load, call me, I'll come.
Yeah.
Like, your horse will load, you know, because they get scared and they really feed on your energy. They know that you're like freaked out, that you got to evacuate. And I come in and I'm just like neutral. I'm calm. I do not use punishment. Like, I'm neutral, but like firm. And meanwhile, you could call someone and ask them to help you load their horse, and they may show up and just like whip the shit out of your horse for 30 minutes. One year we had a fire. I rescued 17 horses in 2 days.
Wow, that is really something to be proud of.
It was exhausting, but it's always good when you can help.
Yeah. Would you say your life is more stable now?
I'm in a relationship, like a real one,
Good.
Which is not something that I have ever really done before. Like, I would say I've never had a relationship this serious. And that can be destabilizing.
Destabilizing?
Yeah, like, you know, relationship stuff.
Yeah, like...
And life stuff.
What have I gotten myself into?
Yeah. You know, but...
It's out of your comfort zone.
It is. And like, I have a savings account and I'm just so proud of myself. Like, it feels so good to just know that I'm working towards a goal. And my overall goal is to have a home where the horses that people can't do anything with anymore, they've given up on or whatever, I want them to have a place in my home, and either I help them find their way through to the next life, maybe a new owner, or maybe the reality is they have to be put down.
You're still working with horses. You've got a savings account.
Yeah.
You've got a stable relationship.
Yeah.
Sounds like things have really turned up for you. Finally.
I would say so, yeah. It feels pretty good.
And you've got an outlook for the future. You've got a plan.
I do. I want to have a big home with, or well, a tiny home and a big barn.
Yeah, give the real estate to the horses.
Exactly. I like to keep my money where you can see it. It's in the pasture walking around.
That's great. Well, what a story.
Thank you.
Why did you want to share your secret today?
Because nobody knows. Like, I'm the one who knows. Even that, I've left out so many things, like totaling my car and, you know, getting drugged and all kinds of crazy shit. You never know. And it's just like, that's only part of it. There's so many crazy stories in there. And sometimes people live these crazy lives and they never say anything about it. And I'm like, you know what? This is the base of my life. I bet you if I told my boss right now this story, they'd look at me different.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I don't want that. But this is just hanging over my head like you wouldn't believe.
So you just wanted a space to tell it safely.
Yeah. I knew from the moment I heard your show. I feel like your show's been around since 2015.
2016.
2016. Okay. The moment I heard the show, I was like, I might do that one day. And I just was like, I don't know what happened. I just sent you the email and you followed up. And I was like, no way.
Now stuff's getting real.
Yeah. I think I'll feel lighter. Like after I hit send on that email, I felt a lot lighter. Maybe a little less resentful towards the world. Like nobody knows me. Like someone might hear it and know who I am.
It's possible.
I hope that they do not reach out to me. Please just keep the knowledge and move on. Like I have.
Yeah, like you have. Does your partner know your story?
They know a little bit about it. And that's only because I use it as a bullet point to get people to go away. So I'm like, hey, just so you know, I used to sleep with people for money. And a lot of guys come on, they're like, oh, you know, that's not a turn off for them.
Right.
But like for some people it can be. So I always tell them. But no, they don't know. He doesn't know. He probably has some idea. He knows that I'm weird about certain things and that my brain's pretty fucked up and certain things have to go certain ways.
Do they know you're doing this podcast?
Oh, yeah. They're sleeping downstairs on the couch.
So is he going to listen to it?
He may.
Might learn a few things.
He might. I would love to tell him my story. But you know how some people are sometimes. It's a lot of damage. Like, why take that in if you don't have to?
Well, if the time is ever right, you'll know it. And if it's not, maybe that's okay.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Nikki, thank you Thank you so much for opening up and, sharing this intense secret with us.
Thank you.
It's quite a journey.
Never give up, people.
Never give up. Nikki told me that horses saved her, and while I don't doubt that for a second, she saved them too. Love begets love, and if there is anything to karma at all, it's not surprising that it's paying dividends in the form of a savings account and a stable relationship. Things are on the upswing for Nikki. I wish her the best. Do you want to see pictures of Nikki and her horses? Check out social media right now. There are links in the show notes. And I have some upcoming interviews I'm going to be asking for your help developing questions for. I'll be posting them in our Facebook discussion group, and I'd love to have your input. See you there. We love putting out this show for free, and we love our great advertisers who make it possible. But to close the gap, we also rely on your support. And as a thank you, you'll get access to The Secret Room Unlocked, a podcast featuring follow-ups and fresh secrets hosted by my producer, Susie Lark. Here's what's next.
Siobahn lives a picture-perfect white picket fence life. She's married with 3 kids and has all the things you're supposed to want. But underneath, she's kept a secret, a longing for something out of reach. Siobhan's always been attracted to women and has never taken the chance to fully explore her true self. Join me in 1 week for The Secret Room Unlocked on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or at patreon.com/secret room. Try it for free.
And you can now listen to The Secret Room on YouTube. The link is in the show notes. This episode of your favorite indie podcast that could was produced in Santiago, Chile. I'm going to text you the tagline for the show.
Yeah, I remember. End of the show.
Yeah.
All right. This is A Secret Room, a podcast about the stories no one ever tells.
That's great. Pot on, Nikki.
Pot on, Ben.
Okay, perfect. I'll see you in just 2 short weeks for another amazing secret.
You know what? You know how I texted
What?
you about the girl who's got the burps? She's burp
Yes.
cam girl?
That episode was the long release.
Yeah. Freaking, I can do that. I was like, she makes money doing that?
Wait, you can
do
giant belches on command?
Not on command, but I had a surgery done, and so say I have a little sip of whiskey or something, I could belch for days. I love that episode.
That was a good one.
She was flirty.
Was she?
Yeah.
I did not pick up on that.
Well, you were looking through her photos.
Yeah, that's true. I was. It was hilarious.
I'm jealous of the people who can do make money off their feet.
Did you hear the episode we did on that?
Yeah, probably. I like those.
Yeah. It's foot fetish or something.
Yeah. People
Yeah.
kink shame way too much, man. Just
Yeah, they do.
oh my gosh, I have a funny story if you want one real quick, but don't use it.
Okay.